All right, hey everyone, Jeff here at StopThePirates.blogspot.com. Was it Wednesday, 2/24/21? As I've talked about before, your name in all capital letters is not you. So exactly who are you? Yeah, look in your wallet, at your credit card, your insurance cards, club cards, driver's licenses, etc. All in all capital letters. It's not you, it's your straw man. And what's that all about? Well, in 1938, the United States Court, in a case called Erie Railroad versus Tompkins, 304 U.S. 64, changed the justice system from one of public law to one of public policy and determined that everything is in commerce. That's why you have a corporation, which is your name in all capital letters, a subcorporation of the foreign corporation known as the United States of America, United States Inc. And for instance, I live here in California, and the California tax board is called the California Franchise Tax Board. And they're pretty much telling you right now, because I am a franchisee, I'm moonlighting basically for this. If I did have a 1099 W-2 job, I would be moonlighting, and I'm released because my natural state in this regular system is to be in prison, a POW camp. But I've been released and leased out to the state of California to make money for them. That's how it works. So it's a franchise tax board of California. I'm a franchisee of a foreign corporation. It's my fiction, my straw man. So everything is a commerce. They took away all your constitutional rights. You don't have any of those, replacing them with corporate government rules and regulations. Governments or courts are not real governments and courts. They're corporate fictions. In today's courts, we are now guilty until proven innocent. Yeah, when you go to court, you can't. It's funny, because when you go to court, everybody goes, I'm innocent. No. You're guilty or you're not guilty, okay? And you can't prove a negative, so guess what? And it doesn't mean you did anything. It has nothing to do with the facts. It just means you're going to pay or you're not going to pay. It's as simple as that. But you can say, I'm factually innocent. I heard this. I'm factually innocent, factually innocent, factually innocent. And there's a writ out there that you can download. I think I have a copy of it somewhere. But even if you're, they do a DNA on you or whatever, and you were wrongly accused and put in prison, they still have a hard time just dropping all the charges, because what happens is, for whatever the charge was, whatever the dollar amount, a default judgment was set out there into the corporate world, and the default judgment bond was sold, and somebody bought that, and they're making money on it. If you're sitting in prison, so it's hard to unwind all that shit. And like I said before, that's what pays for all the wars, because they used to in World War II. You would have to buy war bonds. They would sell them to the people, to be a good American and fight the Axis powers. You would buy war bonds, and they would pay off in 10 years, 20 years, whatever it was, at a certain amount of interest. But now they just put people in prison. You don't have to buy any more war bonds, because the United States of America is bankrupt. They don't have any money. It's just us. It's like all these millions and trillions of dollars they're printing out. It's coming. They're saddling us with it, unless you've done your paperwork. Yeah, so it's all corporate. All crimes are commercial, and they all have a monetary value attached to them. It's like paying for your indulgences in the Catholic Church. However, unlike entities cannot be joined in commerce. If you cut corporations, governments, courts, or banks, they do not bleed. They are fictions. If you get cut, you do bleed. You are real. You are unlike entities that cannot be joined in commerce. You are real. They are fictions. And so our government corporations created and offered us a straw man, and they actually did it for your benefit, believe it or not. It's not all bad. As an optional commercial instrument entity, they just don't tell you how it works, which is the messed up thing. And they're under no obligation to do that. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm breaking this down for you. I'm going to lay it out so you can play it out. Entity to enable and move and operate in commerce and change us into corporations so they could do business with us in commerce. They invented the straw man, our name in all capital letters, a fictional entity, and it's a corporation. So to give you an idea of who you really are on the U.S. slave plantation. And I call it that not to be facetious or anything. If you're not awake to any of how the system works, you are literally a slave. You're walking around the map. It was funny, last night I went to the grocery store, and I never wear a face covering, and all of a sudden I'm walking down the aisle, and this guy, I hear this tap on my shoulder, he goes, "Hey, where's your face mask?" And I turn around, he's not wearing one either. I was like, "Hey, right on, man." He goes, "I never see anybody in here without one." I go, "Occasionally I do." And months ago, I just got really dirty looks. Man, mask, man. Fuck you. Anyway, so you see the situation we're in right now and why all this is happening. It's all about money. It's all about the money. So, yeah, we were all basically born sovereign legal status. But what they do is you enter into a series of contracts, and then you get what's called a legal status, and then they move to from sovereign legal status into contractual. These adhesion contracts. This started with your well-intentioned parents. Obviously, they wanted you to have a birth certificate. They're proud that you are a U.S. citizen. They want you documented. They wanted to submit your application for registration. All these words mean something. They're not just, you just register something. You don't just get a notice in the mail. Oh, it's a notice from the, from Visa. It's something. Unless you rebut the notice, it's legal. Yeah, we're raising your interest rate. Guy did that. He got on a notice, and he sent him back a bunch of paperwork telling him that he didn't agree with it. And actually, he's noticing them that he's only going to pay like 2% interest from now on, and took the thing all the way to court and won because they just got his paperwork and threw it in the trash, and he did an administrative process on him. Yeah, your parents signed the birth certificate with the government, but most people are not aware of that. There's no law that says they have to do that. The famous story, there was a group of Mormons that lived in southern Utah somewhere, like a bunch of them, and I forget the guy's name, but none of the kids had, this was a couple of years, like 10 years ago maybe, and none of the kids that they were having had birth certificates. And the government came in and took all the children. And what that was a pirate type deal. It was a salvage operation, because if they're not listed anywhere, registered anywhere, it's like you can just take them legally. So you sign the application for Social Security number, no law requires that. You sign the application for a driver's license, no law requires that. You sign the application for voter registration, which is the big one, no law requires that. Then you sign an application for a marriage license, no law requires that, unless you wish to marry a person of a different race than yourself. You sign a license to engage in your business, your occupation. You sign a 1040 form, filed it with the IRS. No law requires that. And when I say rebut the presumption, in law of evidence, a presumption which may be rebutted by evidence, otherwise called a disputable presumption, a species of legal presumption which holds good until evidence contrary to to it is introduced, Black's Law Dictionary, 6th edition. All that's required in order to rebut a presumption is that we are juristic, corporate beings subject to all the laws, rules, regulations, statutes, ordinances, etc., which governmental authorities have thought up or can think up in order to gain control over us. It is to serve them with an affidavit of denial of corporate status and a notice of copyright of your straw man. And that completely rebuts the presumption that you are a juristic corporate being, and any court other than controlling an entity is dead and cannot move forward with all that you have won your case. So anyway, I'll leave a link to this more information down below. And please like, share, and subscribe. Thanks.